The College of Pharmacists and the Ministry of Health collaborated on a joint investigation in 2010 to follow up on a number of complaints related to a few pharmacies that seemed to be doing things that were offside of the rules. Some of the activities included providing incentives to patients. So you're not allowed to provide an incentive to a patient to bring their prescription to you, and some of these pharmacies were providing those incentives. Most of that work was done by undercover filming, and so a person in the investigation would have posed to be a patient and gone into the pharmacy pretending to be a patient, and that's how they determined what was going on in these pharmacies that was inappropriate.
So the Pharmaceutical Services Act was enacted in 2012. So before 2012, all of this pharmacare program ran out of the Continuing Care Act. Until that point, we didn't have our own act and we didn't have any regulations. So pharmacare is a $1.2 billion enterprise. Pharmacies provide medications and devices, therapies for patients. Pharmacare pays for that. So about 1,300 pharmacies in British Columbia. There were some that were having some challenges, we thought, and we wanted to know who we were doing business with.
So in order to implement the regulation, we assembled a team whose task it was to develop a form, an application form for applicants. What we devised was a process that was definitely more robust from the previous process, where applicants had to provide us with much more information, and the information that they had to provide us with needed to meet the legislated standards.
So the new regulation allows the ministry to do due diligence for pharmacy applicants, commercial pharmacy applicants. It looks to see whether or not they have any criminal convictions around things like fraud, and it kind of sets out a lot of very specific criteria.
The way we developed the form is to essentially lay out in question format the eligibility criteria. And if an applicant responds yes to any of those questions, they in effect become ineligible for enrollment.
Through this regulation, we have been able to do quite a bit of cleanup. We've said no thanks to a number of pharmacies. I think 26 we have declined to do business with them. We are passionate about providing the best healthcare for all patients. We don't want patients to be treated like commodities. And I think this was one area where staff really took it to heart and said, you know, this is not right.